everything there is to do in women's boxing. Won a bunch of titles, fought at the highest level. But I don't think there's probably anything quite like this right now and what's going on this week. What do you owe that to? And does that kind of disappoint you that you didn't get the attention that you maybe deserved when you were a women's boxer?
I don't mind at all. Co-main event, main event, first fight of the night, I don't care. I'm here to fight. I'm here to fight Miesha Tate, and that's who I've been training for, and that's where my focus is. Connor's an exciting fighter. I don't see why he wouldn't be main event. It's no big deal to me. I'm honored to be on the same card with all the fighters that are here, and really no other thought about it.
Holly, how does this feel differently this time around? Obviously, last time coming in as the challenger, the undefeated champion. This time, obviously, the belt's around your waist. Does it feel any different?
My goal is to get that belt put on my waist again. I don't ever feel like it's mine. There's still a lot of work to retain it. So I don't really think like, oh, it's mine, I just kind of need to keep it. I want to put just as much work into it now as I did for the last fight, and I want to put even more work in for the coming fight after. It doesn't matter. I just, the fight, March 5th, that's it. I want to win whether it's for the belt or not, and that's just what I want to focus on is victory.
How do you make of Miesha saying that she thinks she can stand and trade hands with you? Do you buy into that, or do you think that's a little bit of gamesmanship?
I don't even pay attention really to anything that anybody says. I think that every fighter that I've faced has said that with me. My goal is to have more to offer than just hands. Everybody says they want to exchange hands. I mean, I feel like I've been able to show a more well-rounded game than just my hands, and so my goal is to keep improving that, though. And that's my goal. Whatever they say is their plan. It doesn't matter. I know that they're always going to go in with their A game, and they always know what their qualities are, and they're going to want to. You can always bounce back to that. You can start hands, whatever. Every fight starts there, but who knows where it's going to go.
If the fight kind of gets muddied up a little bit, Holly, is that to your advantage, her advantage? Kind of gets a little muddied up or dirtied up.
She's a really, really gritty fighter. She knows how to grind it out. So I definitely think that's what makes her the toughest opponent I've faced. She's very mentally strong, and she's very, very scrappy in all the exchanges, whether it be on your feet or on the ground.
You were talking about putting in a lot of work and liking to stay active and putting in work. Have you found it to be a hindrance with all this extra media now that you do have the gold and you are coming off the knockout to Rousey? Have you found it harder to get in the training that you would like heading into this fight?
This between my last fight and now, I just had to say no to more fun things. My days off were for media, and I was back in the gym training. So, there's things like the Super Bowl that how awesome would it have been to go to that. But I already had 4 days of media before, so I spent the whole weekend training instead. I feel like it's just the priorities need to be in line, whether there's a lot of attention with media or not. And so I've just been. My days off have basically been work, but that's okay with me because I know hard work pays off, and that's what I need to do on March 5th.
You like to fight pretty much as often as possible. Ronda Rousey said she doesn't want to come back until November. If you beat Miesha, do you want to wait until November, or do you want to fight even sooner?
At this point, I'm not looking past March 5th. That's as far as my mind will let me go. That's as far as my heart and my passion will let me go. You never promised another fight. I want to make sure and make the most of this fight and not look past anything.
That said, does the Ronda Rousey rematch mean anything to you? I mean, I think a lot of fans want to see it. Is it something that's important to you at all?
When I first signed with the UFC, everybody was talking about the title fight with Ronda, and I started to focus on the fights at hand before I could even get there. And right now, I have Miesha in front of me, so I'm focusing on that. I'm glad that fans want to see things because that's why they're in the stands. So I just hope that I give them fights that they want to see, and right now I'm just going to, Miesha's the next.
Holly, how crazy was 2015? Just thinking about, making your debut, and here you are, basically a year later.
It's been just days over exactly 1 year since my debut, and what a year 2015 was. It did go quickly. My team, my management, my coaches, they said, we feel like they're going to throw you around early. So it was not something that we were surprised by. It was something that we wanted to make sure we were ready for. So, when I didn't really know what my next fight was going to be after my July fight last year, I remember hitting mitts and saying, talking to Coach Winklejohn, and he's like, right now we don't have an exact game plan. I'm just going to go, let's just start working on some stuff for Ronda in case. And within a week, we got the call saying Ronda was the next fight. It was just kind of one of those things I think we all thought could happen, and we just wanted to be ready. Paid off, but I don't want to stop there. I want to keep going in 2016.
Holly, styles make fights. What kind of fight will this be, do you anticipate, if styles do make fights?
A different fight. I think it's just every fight's going to be different. And styles do make different fights, and it's going to be different than anything you've seen.
And how cool is it to be able to get a little girl up there and make her day, and to be around the fans and stuff like this?
Awesome. I love when the fans get into it, and props to her for being a good sport and coming up and just having a good time.
Did you master those dance moves?
No, always room for improvement.
Okay, can we ask the cameras just to back up for just a second? Let some of the writers in here for a few minutes. Lance, come on.
Good.
Hi, Holly.
Hi.
There was such a vast difference in your performances from the first two fights to the Rousey fight. What was that a result of, and is this going to be a continuation of what we saw back in November?
My plan is to always be improving, and that's something I'll never stop saying. I wanted to improve from the first two fights, and like everybody's, it's been said over and over, styles make different fights, so maybe it was a different fight before, I don't know. I'm constantly improving, and I want to keep doing better, and we'll just keep taking it to the top.
Is there anything about Miesha's style that you're really concerned with, that you feel like,
She's gritty. She's not mentally beat. She can be down and come back from being behind, and that makes the toughest fight ever. That when you have a warrior in front of you, that makes the most difficult challenge.
You've wanted to fight in March, and now we're being told that maybe Ronda won't be ready till the fall. Would you want to fight between now and then?
I'm just worried about March 5th right now. I haven't even thought past that.
But you like to stay busy though, right?
I do like to stay busy.
Holly, talk to us about the family of your training camp up there, all the guys that you've had training with you, and the support you've got from Albuquerque as a city.
Oh, Albuquerque is a city, my team, my coaches, everybody at home and across the world, all the support from them and all the love from them is just awesome, and I'm very blessed. I couldn't do it without them.
Holly, presumably the blueprint for Miesha Tate is very similar to the fight with Ronda Rousey for you.
Ronda's background is judo, and Miesha's background is wrestling, but they're both well-rounded in different ways, and they both have different styles, so I actually feel like it's a very different fight.
But don't you want to stop it from being a scrappy fight and keep it clean and moving? So we're going to see you move again like you did against Ronda in the same way?
I don't want to get so stuck on one game plan and then not be ready for everything else. And so I don't want to think, I'm going to move, and then it goes to the mat and I freak out. I want to be ready on the ground. I want to be ready on the cage. I want to be ready moving around. So my mind doesn't just limit myself to, I need to stay standing.
I know the win over Rousey is huge, but how important is the first title defense? That's one of the things champions always say, that you're not the real champion until you defend the title. Do you feel that way?
It's just as important of a fight. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. This is even more of an important fight. A lot of people are wondering, what's really going to happen now after that kind of a victory? Is she the real deal? Is she really going to do it? There's a lot more pressure on this than I put on myself, but that's what I'm here for. And a lot of people, before I took this fight, are like, that's a big risk for you to take a fight with somebody else. And it's like, well, what are we in this for?
But you said you find this fight week grueling on Embedded. It's a grueling week for you in many ways.
Mentally. It's the hurry up and wait game. You get worked up for, little things. Your nerves go high, and then you kind of relax a little bit. And then you get nerves get high again, and then you relax a little bit. And it's just kind of like that hurry up and wait, and then all of a sudden the fight's here before you know it. It's like the longest, fastest week ever.
Holly, you get so many questions about Ronda. When do you think that will stop, and are you looking forward to that stopping?
I guess that would be a question for me to ask you guys. When will the questions, be about everything else? Whatever. I'm just here to answer the questions you guys throw out.
You're looking forward to that stopping, though, to the Ronda question stopping?
She's done a lot for MMA. I don't want to take away from her, but I definitely have a different fight in front of me, and so Miesha Tate's the name on my mind.
The other day, Miesha said she's looking forward to you fighting Ronda again, but she's going to ruin the rematch.
Oh yeah, why wouldn't she want to ruin the rematch? That means that she has the belt. That makes sense to me that she would say that. But the fight still has to happen. So.
What do you say to the people who say, that Holly Holm hasn't seen a fighter like Miesha Tate, that ultra tough veteran that you said that's super hard to put away with that firm wrestling bit? What would you say to those people?
I haven't faced a fighter like her. She has the most experience of any fighter I've been in there with. So I'm really I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm ready to get in there and test myself again. You can't be the best without fighting the best, and so we're here.
It's interesting that you talk about nerves. Is that part of your kind of being open in that way, kind of just accepting the reality of the fight week? Does that kind of come with your veteran presence in combat sports?
You know, our coaches always say you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If this was an easy, you know, kind of relaxed type job, everybody, you know, would be doing it. There's only a certain amount of people that can handle being. You put yourself in front of, you know, millions of people, and you tell them, I think I can beat this person. It's just you against them. It's a very vulnerable place to be, so nerves are going to be high. If there's ever a day that I go into a fight and I'm not feeling nervous, that's the day I need to retire.
Do you think the women's fight should have been the main event here after the other fight was taken off?
I just train and fight. I have no thought really about the main to co-main. It doesn't make a difference to me at all.
It's just a 9 o'clock fight for you, basically.
That's right.
Have the trappings of being a champion been a distraction to you, or something that you've super enjoyed?
I feel like I'm just more busy. You know, my days off are doing a lot of media, so I had to say no to some of my vacation days. And that's okay with me because this career is a short-lived career for the most part. I mean, I've been fighting for quite a while, but it's not like you get your doctorate degree with something and then it only lasts a little while. You know, a doctor will have their degree forever and practice for their whole career. And we have a very, very small window of opportunity, and I just want to make the most of it.
Cool. You've got to come to Europe soon. Yeah?
I know. I would love it.
Yeah.
I did go to Italy before. It was awesome.
Holly, I wanted to ask, what's the difference between being a mixed martial arts champion and being a boxing champion? This is a little bit new for you. You spent a lot of time as a boxing world champion. Just want to get your thoughts.
You know, it's the competition. That's really similar. You know, you're taking on another challenger. You know, in boxing, I had a lot of title defenses. I had a lot of rematches. And so I feel like that has been something that's prepared me for now. But the actual fighting is very different. And the competition is very different. The following and the support behind women's MMA is a lot more. So it's definitely a little more, I think, intense feeling. But I've always had that pressure on myself to want to keep the belt and keep fighting well and always say yes to the challenges.
What about the pressure? Feel different in MMA, or is it about the same, the championship pressure?
I think it's the same because I put the same pressure on myself. Even if it wasn't that watched before in boxing, I still wanted to win. For me, for my coaches, for my family, for my husband, for, you know, my friends, it's their support. So.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Molly.